coming out. We are excited to have Alex here today to join us for a shift. Andrew, we're going to have you kick us off, so whenever you're ready.
AC, what's your Cane's order?
Normally Caniac Combo if I'm like, normal hunger. No coleslaw, extra toast, one extra sauce. Usually lemonade too.
How much sauce do you use?
I use all the sauce.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get the fries in there. I'll get the toast in there. I don't waste sauce.
Alex, when you look back at this championship run, what do you hope people remember most about your performance and the team's legacy?
For me personally, I think just the amount of effort that I put in and the sacrifice I put in to win it, because it's necessary, and I hope that doesn't go unnoticed. And then for the team, just the resilience. Like we obviously had a really good regular season, but postseason's different. There's ups and downs, and we had highest to highs, won by 50. We lost one game by 40, and then come back and win the next game. So just to be able to battle through the storm and stay together is, I think, the biggest thing.
Yeah. And how do you keep that mindset?
You got to reset. You got 3 months to enjoy it, and then come back and hit square one, 0-0 again.
Yeah. Alex, do you mind rephrasing their question and your answer? So, the
Yeah.
most memorable part was.
Yeah. Got you.
Thank you.
Alex, you've now won 2 NBA titles. One came as one of many for an iconic franchise. This is the first one for Oklahoma City since moving here. What's the biggest difference between those two for you?
I think the biggest difference between those 2 championships for me is probably just where I'm at in my career. I think the first one I was surrounded by Hall of Fame players with pedigree, and I was learning. I was trying to figure it out. And I think this time around, 6 years later, I knew the answers to the test. And so I was trying to give those out and help the other guys be there for the first time. And I think there's some similarities in them where, I picked it up and ran with it in 2020. And I think the guys that hadn't been there this time around did the same thing phenomenally. Yeah.
Picking your brain the most during the run?
Who's picking my brain the most? Probably the guys I think that I, not deliberately, but just through the course of the playoffs, probably Dub and Chet, just because there are, like we said, there's ups and downs in the playoffs. They had games where they played phenomenally and everyone was singing their praises. And they had games where they didn't play their best and they were frustrated and they had to get over it and get ready for the next one. And they did a great job.
Alex, going off that, you had the opportunity to play for a number of NBA teams in your career. You won away with one of the Lakers. But this Thunder team has felt different. I don't know if you feel that way too, but what is it about not only this team, but this city and this fan base that's so special?
Yeah, I think what makes the city, the fan base, the team so special, it's just from the roots. Like that Laker team was more or less like picked from who we wanted to take and signed a bunch of veterans, like I said, that were going to be in the Hall of Fame, or at least have won championships before. And this one was, second round draft picks, handful of undrafteds, traded guys, a couple free agents. Like it was pieced together a little more meticulously. And I think a lot of the guys on this team are just starting maybe, the beginning of great careers, whereas the other guys run the end runs.
Can you tell us a little bit about why it's important to you to come out into the community at events where you're getting to meet fans who really look up to you?
Yeah, I mean, the importance of coming out and sharing it with the community, I think is just because how much they support us. Like every single game this year, no matter who we were playing, whether it was the worst team in the league or it was a TV game on a Saturday night, they sold out the arena. They're chanting, they're yelling, they're screaming for us, and it's tangible and it's real, and you can feel it. So, I think all the guys on the team are very very mature, for their age and understanding how special that is. And doing stuff like this or doing stuff through the Thunder Cares program and getting out in the community is easy for us because they show up for us.
Alex, you recently came out with 2 shirts to celebrate the championship. The Mount Rushmore shirt, obviously, and then the GOAT T-shirt, which I thought was really cool. So, what was the fan reaction to those 2 shirts?
Yeah, I think the reaction to the shirts was really positive. Those are always fun to do. Anytime you have something where you can kind of throw some of your creativity and your personality out there, it's a lot of fun. And hopefully, I threw a couple out in the parade, and I think a couple more people at least tweeted at me that they got some on mine. So, Caruso.com if anybody needs another T-shirt. Yeah, I mean the things that stood out the most from the championship parade day, man, just the overwhelming turnout. You know, like there was 10 to 20 people deep, if not more, at every corner, every turn, from the starting line to Scissortail Park, where there was a couple 100,000 probably packed in there. Man, just overwhelming support, and it was still loud. Like I didn't know how loud it was going to be because we're outside, right? There's no like acoustics to kind of trap all the noise, but it felt loud, and it was a lot of fun, a lot of great energy.
From the parade.
Oh wait, one more thing. And Aaron Wiggins' speech just started off, man. Wiggs killed the speech. Like that was probably the best moment from the parade, besides the actual going around seeing the
Did you
fans.
see that coming?
No, nobody did. We tried to shut it down after he finished, and they said no. We have a program. We still have to talk to people. But we tried to. He dropped the mic, and we tried to finish it though.
From the parade to events like this, how crazy has life been since the win for you?
Honestly, back home in my own house, it's been pretty relaxed. There's not much that's changed. Just getting to rest finally, and I tried to go swing some golf clubs yesterday. My knuckle is still sprained, so I'm on the IR a little longer. But other than my phone blowing up and social media going crazy, some of that stuff is out of the ordinary. But stuff at home for me is still, it's the off season now. Lay low, get some sleep, and relax.
Who did you sprain the knuckle?
Game 7. Yeah, I got a steal on Ben Shepherd.
Yeah.
I poked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This OKC team has such good chemistry on and off the court, and you were one of the only new players to come into the fold during the off season. Was it easy to embrace just how young and frankly unserious this team is off the court, or was that a big adjustment?
Yeah, I think adjusting to the team for me was relatively easy. Once I got here, I just started building those relationships with the guys, and I think I'm pretty unserious off the court as well. I probably don't show it as much as they do, but with that part, I fit in pretty well. And then on the court, I think made it easier because we realized everybody was focused on the same thing. Everyone's really competitive. So for me, it was pretty seamless once I got here after a month or two.
How surreal is this full circle?
I can't see the light's so bright.
How surreal is this full circle moment? I mean, you started in Oklahoma City, G League, you win a championship years later. I mean, do you look back over the past couple of days, look back to those days when you were in G League grinding, just trying to make a name for yourself in the NBA?
Yeah, it was pretty surreal, through the year. Just driving by different places in the city that I remember driving by, getting getting here the first time. Different places in Edmond, the exit to go to the practice facility, driving through downtown and seeing new buildings that weren't there the first time I was here. Yeah, I mean, just being back, and I don't lose those memories from when I was on the Blue, and we get home at 1 a.m. from a connecting flight, and I got to drive 30 minutes to Edmond to the practice facility, and then drive home and show up to work the next day. All those things aren't forgotten, and I think, like you said, just the full circle moment is honestly insane, and I probably won't be able to appreciate it for some time. But um, I'm definitely aware of how rare that is and how cool it is.
What did it mean to win it with Mark specifically? To win like he was your G League coach.
Yeah.
And now you're NBA head coach.
Yeah, to share this accomplishment with Mark was really special. It's super cool. I mean, I've told people through the years that we've stayed in touch for the most part. Like every year, we at least see each other at the games, and every couple would be able to catch dinner and just catch up, and to see his growth and evolution, and see my growth and evolution, and then marry that together and get here, and now we're continuing to get better and continue to grow. It's just really cool, because I think he knows me on a deeper level than some of the other guys, just because he saw me, 10 years ago, where I wasn't like this polished veteran in the NBA. So there's still some of that, sarcasm that I bring to the team that I think some people might be afraid to do, but I feel pretty comfortable with him, and yeah, just really cool to share this with him.
Okay, last question.
Alex, you played in some big cities, Los Angeles, Chicago. What is it that makes playing in this city, Oklahoma City, and in front of these Thunder fans so unique?
Well, Oklahoma City is going to be a big city. We're getting a new building downtown. It's going to be the world's tallest building or something. Yeah, it's really cool. I've compared it, in an interview before to, Texas high school football, where when there's a game, the city shuts down and everyone's just focused on that one thing. And the signs in the yard, the flags. I'm seeing people, hang jerseys from flag poles, writing on the car windows. Like all that stuff is really cool for me, just because of that's kind of the sports era that I grew up on in College Station. Like I said, Texas high school football mecca, and the love and support carries with that. And I think that's one of the coolest things is it's 10 a.m. A couple of days after the season's over, and there's a couple hundred people outside of Canes waiting to see me just to say hi because we won a championship. Like that doesn't go unnoticed.
Okay, great.